Alright, field trip. Didn't you always think when you were a kid and they said field trip that you were actually going to go in a field?
No.
So we're going to live like a songwriter, write like a person. So as I always point out, we all live in the same world as Tom Waits and Bob Dylan and Prince, Paul McCartney and Jack White, Jack Black. And but they're living like songwriters. So let's go. A tourist thing or whatever, but I will tell you a little bit about this. These two guys right here, Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff, they wrote like 8 billion #1 killer songs, huge hit songs. Philly, this was Philly's version of Motown in the 70s. I wish I had the whole, well, Love Train, get on board on a love train, love train. Those two guys wrote and produced those songs. And God bless you, you make me feel brand new. You know that song? And what else? You like that, right? What else was a 70s hit? Yeah, right. What else was Gamble and Huff in the 70s?
It was Harold Melvin and the Keynotes.
Yeah, what did they sing? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who sang You Are Everything and Everything Is You? Yeah, there you go. Stylistics. Thank you, brother. Thanks, man. That's what Gamble and Huff did. Sound of Philadelphia. That's right.
They wrote Expressway of Love too, that song.
Yeah, yeah. Did they write that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. TSOP, Sound of Philadelphia. This is the souvenir shop. That's awesome. I never saw this. Google Gamble and Huff. That's Philadelphia songwriting royalty. Big time. Big time. And they're still alive and they're still rocking. In fact, Leon Huff just friended me on Facebook. Good times. Good times indeed. Cool. Wow, look at those. They're having like shows. Sometimes I would take a phrase like, hey Erica, let's see, like neat stuff, you know, like, and then it makes me feel, it's very pop culture, you know, or something like neat stuff is kind of very pop culture. It just makes me think of like pop culture kind of phrases or like your canyon and stuff, you know. Yeah, off, it's eat stuff.
Eat stuff.
Eat stuff. Pretty good name for a restaurant. Okay. Wow, look at this place. That makes that place seem not
Yeah, what?
That's awesome. So I see, hold on, let's look at this for a while. Let's look at this for a second. You know, okay, so what I'm getting from that, well, give me a line you're getting from that. I have one already. Yeah.
That's what I got, yeah.
Yeah, you got your head in the grass.
Well, mine are in the clouds. I thought it was like I was thinking your eyes are like a snake in the grass.
That's pretty good. Or the, what do you got, Rob? Any line derived from that?
Really? I think it's kind of the opposite of like in the cloud.
Right. So what is it? If you said something where you said some people got their... Yeah. Yeah. You gotta write it down. That's the living like a songwriter part.
Okay.
Yeah. what do you got for that one? We already got the obvious head in the grass thing. What else could you say? It doesn't have to be literal, it could just make you think of something like that.
I'm feeling really low today.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So low, I got my head in the grass kind of thing.
I feel like you're only showing half yourself, but you're scaring me. Something like
Yeah,
you're already
good.
scaring me.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're only showing half yourself. That's pretty good. Sometimes grass looks like hair. Sometimes, you know, something about that, like, you know, something maybe like there's grass growing out of your head. Tonic, I don't know. They're a little confused. Sometimes the way I would do it, I always like to do a follow-up rhyme to it. You know, there's grass growing out of your head. There's trees growing out of your bread. Or no, out of your bed. The whole, you know, you got the whole world. You know, something, you know, like something about like your head is your world, which is I always thought was really pretty wild about. You know, everybody's like their own universe. We see it from our angle. There's something about that. I wrote a poem one time called "Personal Universe." No. Something like universal personal or something like that. That's some tricky shit, technically speaking. Alright. We may have to walk in here just because.
Yeah.
Look, oh hey, look. This is why walking around town's awesome, because things just always connect up. So there, the style, that sticks. Right? Oh, you know what? They didn't write the one I was singing. I was giving them credit, but I think that they... that was Tom Bell and Linda Creed. Let's see if they had anything to do with this record. The one I was singing, You Make Me Feel Great. That's written by Tom Bell and Linda Creed. Alright, they didn't do that one. I'll have to take that away from them. Webb said in his book, it's called Tunesmith, which is a very good book, Jimmy Webb Tunesmith. It's like whenever you like pick up an instrument you haven't played before, not meaning like a kind of instrument like ukulele or whatever, but just an instrument, it just has this thing, it freshens you up a little bit. You know, you just haven't played it before, and all of a sudden like it just feels new. It doesn't feel like your same old guitar playing the same G chord. I always find like, you know, when you just play something different, you know, like that you know you're working, especially when you're out in the world too at a store, you know.
Got this.
Oh, okay. That looks good. I just get psyched to play it, you know. Try this. Yeah, I always come up with just cool riffs, you know, in a store. Like I just sit because I feel different. I'm somewhere else. I'm out of the same bedroom. I'm not playing the same guitar, you know, and I'm always like, wow, that's pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
Also, people are listening, so like it's kind of like that pretend you know what you're doing thing, like pretend you know what you're doing when you're writing a song. Like all of a sudden I'd be like, well, I don't want to play something stupid, so I'm gonna like, sound like I know what I'm doing.
20 bucks, I think.
And I wind up like doing something like you all just did in the class if you wrote a song.
Okay.
Because you had to pretend you were. It should be my new album, Saxafaction.
I like it.
Now, it's just, you know, you can see something and it doesn't always have to be, if somebody says something, you write it down. You see something on a sign, you write it down. You know, people will always say to you, you know, somebody will say something and they'll go, well, that would make a good song. It's not always literal, okay? So like, that over there with the red lights and the green lights, you know, honestly, and I'm not just trying to be like artsy about it, like, genuinely looks amazing to me. You know, like I would love to have that in my studio. I just love it. And you know what I love about it? I love that the red lights and the green lights are on at the exact same time. I think it's really cool. You rarely see red lights and green lights on at the same time. So it's basically telling you to stop and go. And it just makes me think about something. I mean, just a million. You know, like every day, I don't know. I go, you know what, maybe slowing down the way to live life. So I can slow down and really enjoy the moment. Then I slow down and enjoy the moment. And I think too much. And then I go, no, let me just get into action. Just like, you know, just go, baby, go. And then that's great for a little while, and then that's frustrating. I personally can relate to the stop and go thing. That seems there's something in it for me. That thing I love too. First of all, it's clean. It's not like an old grimy one of those. But it's pretty neat that they've invented something that's like that big, and you can see like a ton of things. You know, something that big. I love the way it looks. I would totally make that an album cover. I love that the lights are in that. So look at it. It's moving. I like that too. It looks like an aquarium or something. You know, and then it makes me think of like the city's like an aquarium maybe, you know, and people are like fish. And fish don't stop swimming. It's like a green light forever for them. You know? They just start digging around for stuff in my brain, you know? Something about fish, they don't stop swimming. You know, there's no fish sitting on a psychiatrist's chair talking about their husband, as far as I know.